Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MXGP 2021, and we are now here in the MXGP of Netherlands for OS for round 4 of career mode. So without further ado, let's crack on here in OS, bring on the acceleration here in the wet, careful not to spin up the rear as we go around the outside of a couple of riders going into turn 1. Can we get the Fox's hole shot? No chance. But for us, we do dive at the inside of the new Foxhole shot leader, Tom Vial, and we now take over at the front. Now, the last time I played OS was in the live stream, and we had a bloody good result here, and I'm hoping for the same result here. Of course, coming off, fresh off the double victory in Majora, last time out in round 3, and of course, we have the red plate for the very first time in MXGP 2021 career mode. So we are riding the momentum and we are enjoying life right now here in this fantastic video game. But for the time being, this career mode video is well underway, and we got a little bit wide there and hopefully not losing the lead as the rain seems to have just disappeared somewhat. The track will begin to dry out. How quickly remains to be unseen, but for the time being, the conditions of this circuit are going to improve, so that is good news for us. We do better in the dry compared to the wet conditions. We don't do too bad in the wet conditions, but we are much stronger within the dry conditions, like a lot of riders would be in real life and in the video game, of course. So now onto the left hand side, be very careful not to run that jump a little bit too far and jump into the barrier. Doing a good job so far, keeping ahead of the pack. So Rowan van der Moosdijk puts himself into second place, never mind about that. Diego Giert now puts himself into second place. The timing screen on the left hand side is going a bit wild there as Rowan van der Moosdijk now takes over in second place, and then Diego Giert, so then Jed Beaton. Alright, there's a battle going on behind us. As long as that stays to the end of this race, we're going to stay in first position and take our third victory in a row, but this time here in OS, so that would be absolutely fantastic if that remains the same. So onto the left hand side we will go now, going a little bit tighter towards that rut there, but not actually in the rut. Went for the outside line as we go into the right hand side here, just pushing downwards on the right analog stick there, but just gently push it too far and you may have a bad time. Now of course, if you are looking for some assistance with MXGP 2021, definitely check out my hand cam guide from a couple of days ago. I certainly assure you that video is going to help you, so if you have any queries or you're just looking for some assistance in general, check out that video and hopefully you'll let me know in the comment section down below if it helped you or not. But if you have any further questions and you're needing some assistance, let me know in any of the videos and I'll be more than happy to help you out. As Diego Giert, the number 93 on board the Yamaha, has taken over at the front as we just touched the inside of the apex there. Goodness me, we've not lost one position, we've lost two. Diego Giert has now taken over the front, and Rowan van der Moosdijk has taken over second place. As we, I certainly considered a dive over the inside, but that would have been extremely brave. As we go on the left hand side, contacts made there between Giert and van der Moosdijk, and now we are taking over back at the front. Have we regained position? We certainly have. Brilliantly done from Matt Grant on board the KTM. The KTM Race Store team are going to be very happy with that performance as we somehow battle our way back to the front. That is why we have the red plate on our motorcycle right now. And of course, if you're a fan of the red plate and if you're a fan of the number 461 on the red plate, you can buy the merchandise for DrAce, which has that very red plate on it. Check out the links in the description down below. But on the right hand side now, going to the tighter rut, the tighter apex is what's required for that particular corner. As we now go hard on the brakes, you can hear me downshifting very quickly there just to stop the motorcycle from going a little bit too far, using the engine brake of this bike pretty nicely here. So on the left hand side, passing the pit lane entrance, waving to the team on the left hand side there. As we'll go on to the right hand side here, might go for the tighter apex this time, never mind. Actually went a little bit wide there, couldn't make that corner even if I tried to go for the apex. Well, now dropping it into the downhill section, you can see the track deformation, or kind of, in MXGP 2021. It's not quite clear whether the track does deform or not. It does somewhat, but it doesn't have a massive impact on the particular races or conditions every now and again. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. I still don't know really how it is in this game, but very tight the apex there. Superly done there. Very impressive actually, as we've gained a massive gap to the rider behind. I think it's still Rowan van der Moosdijk. I'm waiting for an update on the bottom left hand corner, so here we go. Are we going to get an update? Never mind, it disappeared quicker than my ex-girlfriend, but never mind. We'll go on the right side and bring on the acceleration. Look at that big jump there, using both analog sticks to push backwards and then push them forwards to really get the extra oomph and boost to get across the big jump there. To make sure that we get onto the rear tyre as well is imperative to make sure that we get a good landing. Because of course if you don't push the weight back onto the rear tyre, you may land on the front and the suspension is probably going to kill you, so be very, very careful. So Ruben Fernandez has finally shown his face in this one. Not seen him much of him, considering we seen him in Majora for a little while and then we didn't see him much after that. That is where he lost his championship lead and gave over the red plate to Matt Grant, and he's actually been losing a lot of career mode duels with me recently, and I mentioned these in the MXGP 2021 review that the career mode has some sort of dueling system that basically one of the other riders will choose you as a rival, probably one of the other championship protagonists of this particular category. So if you're an MXGP or MX2, regardless, you'll get a rider who's going to challenge you for a battle to hopefully beat you and to take away some momentum away from you. But it's alright, you know, it's one of those things that you'll probably skip after you got the achievement. But he has been losing quite a lot of them to me very, very recently. So this time we're going to go for the tighter apex. Is it a little bit more of a benefit? No, I don't think so, as we bump the wall there. Goodness me, bumping into the signage. I don't think we're sponsored by them, and if we aren't, we're certainly not sponsored by them anymore, because they're going to be miffed at that one as we just bump into the Monster Energy sign. Oh, that is crucial. That is absolutely crucial, as Jed Beaton has now taken over at the front. What an absolute disaster for Grant right now as we get completely out of shape there, trying to dive it back up on the inside of Jed Beaton. Incredible response time from Grant there to fight back immediately after being beaten by Jed Beaton. That sounded a bit odd to say, but never mind. We are back up into the first position, and we were almost Jed Beaton, but we're not Jed Beaton. We're doing well. We're all right. We're holding on to our position, and hopefully Jed is not going to make a move at some point that he's going to regret. We're still holding position quite nicely, but I don't know whether he's going to go for a would-be lunge. This game is certainly no stranger of a would-be lunge. You do see them quite frequently in this, which is good, because of course we do see lunges in real life, and it keeps you on your toes, but it also makes you very, very nervous. If he has the temerity to go for it, you better believe he will. So upon that note, we are still in first position. The gap on the left-hand side of your screen is a little bit odd in MXGP. Oh, another carnage moment! Another mistake has come from Grant on this final lap. This is not looking too peachy anymore. Jed Beaton up into the first position. Rohan van der Moosdijk has taken over for second. I don't think we're going to be able to claw this back, ladies and gentlemen. I've made an absolute blunder. Whoa, look at van der Moosdijk. He is all over the place. Jed Beaton is holding on to first position. Jed Beaton's gone down. Lord almighty, what is going on here in this Grand Prix? Oh my goodness, race 1 is filled with riders now. We have Diego Geerts to the right, Jed Beaton to the left. Here I am stuck in the middle of so many riders, diving up the inside of Rohan van der Moosdijk. We finally get the position back. We were practically gifted that. Oh my goodness, the win streak will continue, I hope, if we manage to stay on board the motorcycle. If not, then I think we're going to have a bad time, but we're still holding on to position. We mustn't touch that sign again, and we mustn't touch the Monster Energy sign at the end of this particular race. But what a wild one this has been here in Oss. Big wheelie across the line. We didn't deserve the win, but somehow we held on for our third victory in a row. So at the end of that one, Grant takes the first position with Beaton in second, van der Moosdijk third, Diego Geerts fourth, and Ruben Fernandez only finished 6th place. So now once again we go for race 2. Accelerations underway, and that's not a bad start. Could have been a little bit better, but we will have that inside line if we're brave enough, and you better believe we are. Fox's whole shot goes to Grant for the 4th time in a row as we are absolutely clattered into the back of there. Goodness me, we almost ended up losing the rear tyre there because someone went for a would-be lunge. As mentioned in race 1, we knew a would-be lunge was going to happen sooner or later, and I tell you what, a lovely dry condition is what we need yet again here in Oss, and this could be a double race victory. That is the goal here. Just got to stay a little bit more focused this time. Concentrate on the race and not allow any rider to have a would-be lunge, as I mentioned many times in this video. Comment would-be lunge if you like that word. I tend to like it a lot. But onto the left-hand side, I knew that was coming. I got a little bit too close to the inside there, and I thought I'm going to try and regain my position by chucking it a little bit more to the left, but I put too much weight onto the left-hand side. There was no chance we were going to land that bike. Absolutely none. I kind of felt it going into that corner that was going to happen, but never mind. We still are into 3rd position. Beaton in 1st place on board the Husqvarna, and of course the KTM and not teammate Tom Viale just ahead of us in 2nd place. We're in one of the satellite teams compared to Tom Viale for the factory racing team of the Red Bull KTM. Now Jed Beaton just went through the spot where he actually crashed in race 1. He manages to stay on board his motorcycle this time and still leads in Os right now. So the MXGP of the Netherlands has not disappointed by any shape or form. It's been brilliant so far. Both races have been very exciting. As I tried that wider line, I just didn't like that line at all. I much prefer the tighter one, and we have lost a lot of time to Jed Beaton in first place. So the Husqvarna potentially going to take its first race win of the season. So good job for Jed Beaton holding it in there with the KTMs right now. But Tom Viale is looking a little bit under pressure from the new World Championship leader, the man with the red plate behind him, Matt Grant, of course, the number 461. As we go on the right-hand side, Tom Viale is in the way, but we're trying to go for that lunge. Look at Jed Beaton going for that ridiculously wide line. That surely isn't going to work. He had a perfect lead and he just couldn't make it done, but this is a perfect move. Look at that for a perfect lunge. A perfect lead for Beaton has disappeared in a matter of seconds, but never mind, he fights back to retake second position. 42 seconds remaining of this one, plus 2 laps. There's still plenty of action left to be had in this one, and I, for one, I am very much enjoying this one. Viale leads with the Husqvarna of Jed Beaton in second place, and Grant is just getting a little bit out of shape there in third place. So we just got to keep on pushing back, and hopefully we can regain our position. I do want to try and fight with these guys. I don't want to just settle for third place. It's not what we're all about. Jed Beaton going ridiculously slow now. Something has happened to his AI. He just didn't fancy it here today, it seems, but we have to chase down Tom Viale on our own, because it looks like Beaton's either having problems or he is just beginning to struggle. Either or, I'm not entirely sure. So upon rhyming accidentally, I'm a poet and I just didn't know it, we are still chasing down Tom Viale, and the race time has expired. So there will be just 2 more laps by the end of this one. So this is now very important. We only have 2 more laps to chase down Tom Viale. We'll be starting in the penultimate lap any moment now. As Tom Viale has gone down, has he just gifted us another race victory? This would be lovely. 4 victories on the row. Oh my lord, Jed Beaton was going over the top of us there. Wow, that was a little bit scary as Tom Viale is just trying to regain his composure. We'll go for the tighter apex, nice and tight there. Flick it to the left-hand side and get in behind Tom Viale because I'm desperate to keep the win streak alive. This would be our 4th victory in a row. Race victory, that is, of course, not Grand Prix, as we are right on the cusp of taking over the first position. Tom Viale, please move out the way, mate. You on board that KTM are actually getting in my way. You're hindering me more than helping me. I know we're not teammates or anything like that, but we are still representing KTM together as Diego Giertz has just gone down in that final corner. Something has happened to the man on board the Yamaha. The number 93 hat's gone down, but never mind about that because Grant is in the lead once again. This time we aim to not blow it. We mustn't drop it now because we were so close. We're on the cusp. We're on the precipice of taking a 4th victory in a row. We have 2 laps to navigate Os with style and pizzazz and confidence to make sure that we maintain our winning streak. Not like it really matters, because of course at the end of the day, winning the race is not really that matters, it's winning the Grand Prix itself. We want to take a maximum amount of points, of course we do, but as long as we finish the Grand Prix in first position, we can't be chased down, so that's all that matters. But now into the right hand side, going into the apex there, must be very careful at this particular point. I don't want a recap of what happened at the beginning of this second race where we crashed into that corner. So 2 laps remaining, we're still in the lead. We still have the ball in our park, as one would say. And now we're going to just try and hold on to the very end. Lap times, as far as they go, we haven't been smashing them or doing anything particularly well. The lap times are hard to be beaten here in MXGP, it really are. The AI is just ridiculous when they have that 1 lap pace. It can be quite astonishing, if anything. I mentioned it in my review that the AI can just literally disappear in front of you, can never be seen again. We've seen it in Matterley Basin, of course, with Maxime Renault, and then, of course, with Ruben Fernandez in Arleonoc, I believe it was. So on the left-hand side we will go now, enter the change direction for the right. I do like this section of track, very nicely made there. Really love the circuit in general. Probably one of the best tracks I've got in MXGP 2021, and that's given me an idea. When the DLC drops and we get all the actual packs and all the tracks available, we'll do a top 10 list for my favourite tracks of MXGP, or top 5, whatever we tend to do. Probably a top 10 anyway. But on the right hand side now, going for this downhill section, we mustn't touch the Monster Energy sign. Too many scary moments in the last race. It looks like we've got this one well and truly in the bag right now. A very concerning moment in the end of race 1 where we thought we were going to lose our streak. It looks to be a thing of the past, and it looks like we've got this one. Job well done. But it still is about holding on to the end, so anything could happen in Grand Prix racing. We have to make sure that we don't end up dropping the ball, well, more importantly dropping the bike, I guess, but still having a thrilling race here in Os. I really hope you've enjoyed. If you have, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe as well, because of course plenty more MXGP 2021 content coming, and plenty more Ride 4, MotoGP, and a lot more content in general coming very soon, so definitely stay tuned and subscribe if you're interested in my sort of content. So now onto the right hand side, approaching the part where we crashed earlier. Don't do it again. We're still good, we're still alright. I had to hold my breath a little bit, but we're alright. We're still hanging on. We won the double victory in OS in the live stream. Are we going to do it here now in the video? This is going to be beautiful if we do. I actually won both times on board the KTM, of all things. Of course, the KTM renowned for being such an amazing bike in MXGP and in MX2, of course. But this one looks to be in the bag. We'll be going on to the next round in Lockett for round 5 in the championship lead with maximum points from OS. That would be bloody lovely. So that's what we want to see. That's what we want to do. Win all the races and move on to MXGP. No idea who we'll be riding for next season, but I guess we'll have all that to discuss very, very soon. So now into the final sector, going into one of the best ruts of the game. I love this particular sector. Look how clean it is. Just diving up into the right there, into the left-hand side. Past the pit lane, past the team, past the aces. And we are going to be celebrating like mad because we have just taken our 4th victory in a row. And this is going to be the full 50 points of this Grand Prix. This is exactly what we wanted. This is exactly what we looked for when we entered OS. Big wheelie across the line and a bit of a jump for the man who's got the red plate. Matt Grant, the number 461, wins here in OS. So Grant suffering from deja vu and takes another 25 points here in OS. Tom Vialli with the 22 in 2nd place. 3rd place Jed Beaton. Geertz misses out on the podium. Renault, Van de Moosdijk and Ruben Fernandez finished in 7th place. A look at the Grand Prix results and Grant takes the perfect 50. 25 plus 25 is the ultimate points, the full 50. Jed Beaton 2nd with 42 and Tom Vialli takes up 3rd place. Joint points with Jago Geertz and 1 single point ahead of Rowan Van de Moosdijk. So that's the end of the video then, guys. We'll take a look at Grant with the red plate there. Winning here in OS was the ultimate victory, and of course taking the full 50 points is always what you need. So upon the note, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. We now have a 23-point championship lead ahead of Maxime Renault, and that is ending the video on a high. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.